So it's time to talk about Twitter.
Twitter is making some security changes.
Twitter is disabling two-factor authentication via text
unless they pay for Twitter Blue.
I've been on Twitter since June of 2008, and over the almost 15 years that I've been on the platform, I've seen it evolve significantly. And one of the features that was added through the years was two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication requires that you enter a secondary code to be able to gain access to your account. Twitter has now decided that the majority of accounts, that is everyone that is using a free Twitter account, will no longer be able to use SMS-based authentication. In fact, SMS-based authentication will now become a premium feature part of Twitter Blue. And this move is completely baffling because SMS-based authentication is nowhere near as secure as an authentication app or a security key. So why would it now be a premium feature? And when you think about the way that Twitter users actually engage with the platform, SMS-based authentication actually makes a lot of sense because it's the easiest way of getting someone to use a secondary authentication method. And it is a significantly better move than not having any authentication method at all. So what is driving this change? Well, you could argue that it's financially motivated because almost all the changes that Elon has made to the platform seem to have some kind of financial motivation behind them. It is no secret that Twitter is trying to make money, and Elon has been making cuts across the board in an effort to make the company profitable. But should those cuts come at the cost of security? Elon claims that phone companies are trying to scam Twitter out of $60 million a year. Now, I don't know if that's actually true. In fact, I find it really hard to believe. But I'd argue that Twitter should not remove SMS-based authentication for its free users. And here's why. While authentication apps and security tokens are much better, only 2.6% of users have any form of authentication method enabled at all. And the majority of those, almost 75%, are using SMS-based authentication. So while SMS-based authentication is less secure than using an authentication app, it is the preferred method by those who actually have two-factor authentication enabled. It's also the easiest form of authentication to get your head around and to start using. Using an authentication app can often be quite a complicated experience, and they can be quite fiddly and difficult to use. So this move is not a good thing for security across Twitter's platform. As Marques Brownlee posted on Twitter, rule number 1 is to never charge for something previously provided as free. And I definitely agree with that. Twitter should not be making SMS-based authentication a premium feature. It just isn't a premium feature. So if your goal is to improve the use of secondary authentication across your platform, you should absolutely have SMS authentication as a free tool for everyone to use. Because yes, it might be less secure than an authentication app, but ultimately, it's the method that people prefer. And it is much better than doing nothing at all. So have you signed up for Twitter Blue, and do you think that SMS-based authentication should be a premium method that comes packaged in Twitter Blue, or should it be enabled for everyone? Let me know in the comments below, and if you found this video valuable, just hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.